Ah. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about someone's birthday going wrong time and time again, and Happy Death Day. On her birthday, a college student is murdered on her way to a party. That is, until she wakes up in the same dorm room on her birthday. Again. The same day and her murder keeps happening again and again and again until she finds out who is killing her. Does this premise sound familiar? I have nothing really original to say. This is basically a slasher version of Groundhog Day. A lot of this movie is the same. Some of the similarities are you have a main character that's a pretty terrible person that needs to change. That character also has to learn new skills each day. You have an Andy McDowell character, a psycho killer. Oh, I'm sorry, Groundhog Day just had Michael Shannon in it. My mistake. I'm kidding. I love that guy. This movie is pretty dumb. That being said, this movie also knows this. Earlier this year, a movie came out that had a similar premise called Before I Fall. The reason that movie didn't work is that it took itself way too seriously. Happy Death Day is the complete opposite. Even with its ridiculous plot and even more ridiculous characters, it makes so much fun of itself that you can't help but have a good time. Yes, serious horror and thriller fans, you can have fun with these movies. It's okay. I think my favorite part of this movie is when our main character begins to make a list on who could be killing her and we enter a suspect investigation montage. Being that at the first of this movie she is a pretty unlikable character, there are plenty of suspects. There's the guy she just met at the party, the b*** of a best friend, her roommate, the married doctor she's sleeping with, and his wife. Or could it possibly be the one-night stand, the stalkerish dude, or could it be someone introduced later in the movie? We don't know. Though you will have your hunches, and there's probably a chance you'll be right, it's still a fun ride. Next, let's talk about the babyface killer. This movie doesn't really give an official name to the killer, so I am curious what the official name will end up being. For those wondering, the mask comes from the mascot of the college, which is the Bayfield Babies, and honestly, that's a pretty creepy mascot. Look, the premise alone isn't going to sell this movie. You buy into this because the main character makes you buy into this. Tree, yes, that's her name, Tree, played by Jessica Rothe, helps keep you interested in the premise. Now, I'm not saying that's because she gives a stellar award-winning performance, but her scream queen reactions to things work so well with the silliness of the movie. Her facial expressions, screaming comments, and rolling of her eyes sell so many scenes in this movie. Now, is this a good movie? Not really. That being said, I would still recommend it. I would say gather a bunch of friends together and go have a great time. You shouldn't go into this movie expecting a serious thriller because even the movie knows it's not one. If it reminded me of anything, it would be the movie Scream, where it's bloody and gory, but it's also silly in so many ways. There's just something to be said about a movie that can have this much fun despite being a thriller. As always, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of Happy Death Day? Feel free to comment out down in the section below. But remember, it's only just one guy's opinion. I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino. Until next time.